And welcome back. We are in the closing instances of this day one of the Limitless Qualifier number 3. I'm Marcus Pataro, and I'm joined here again by Philip Schultz. How
Hey
you doing, Philip?
everyone, great, and I'm really excited to be casting this because Kyle Sucevich is it's like my childhood hero. Honestly, it's
Man, you don't even know. I have so many cards that are actually signed by him because I just love the guy. The top cut was
yeah,
everything I based myself on
yeah,
when I
it's
was.
it's yeah. Puka is not only like one of the best players who has ever been in this game, but also I feel like of all the players that had impact on the game, he might have the highest impact ever because he was like the main person behind the top cut, which basically started streaming in the Pokemon TCG before that.
Yeah.
Before that, there were like tournaments, and sometimes you heard rumors about something that won a tournament maybe a week ago or something like that. And that's completely unimaginable these days. Now we are totally used to having almost every event streamed, having live information all the time, and having so much information about everything. And it's just so much more interesting to get engaged in the game as a viewer. And yeah, as I said, I think Puka is one of the big reasons behind that. He was a big driving force. He basically was one of the first content creators in the game as well. Started to started to upload a lot to YouTube, invented new formats to stream like Bad Deck Monday and stuff like that, where he was playing fun decks and generally stream. Yeah, just I could go on and on, but
Oh, me too.
yeah.
I just love Puka. I think I've watched every single video of the Top Cut twice, like in a day, because as you just said, like today we have internet, we have Limitless TCG site, we can have instant access to any list. You see many people commenting in the Facebook groups, list. But back in the day, it wasn't that easy. I know this is kind of a boomer talk, but it's the truth, guys. It was
And
really hard for us to get the decks, the better
and
decks
yeah,
back in the time.
and yeah,
Let's
it's
jump
really
into the
cool.
game
Yeah,
here.
it's really cool to see Puka back, and he had an amazing start into the tournament. He was at 7-0. And so I asked him if he could be on stream because we really wanted him, but oh man, maybe we shouldn't
Oh
have
my
asked him to
god.
stream for
I
us. It's been going downhill ever since.
We're bringing him such bad luck. Look at his starting
Yeah.
hand. Last time he was donked that he was on stream, and this time he has a horrible hand. Just filled
This
in with
is
Pokemon that right now are not doing anything. And he plays so many energies in deck. He has an 18 energy card count. And he
man,
doesn't have one in his hand right now. He
this
doesn't have a way to
is
welder. Oh my
and
god.
we already had him on stream for around 8 where he got donked, and now we have him again and it's looking so terrible. Oh, this is really heartbreaking.
I hope we're not the one that are giving him bad luck
I
because
mean,
he's my hero, and I wouldn't want to to
I
hate me
mean,
for this.
of course, we don't. I don't want to sound too biased. It's just that we want to see some action from Puka. It's not necessarily that we need him to win. Trevor, of course, is rocking Pikachu Zekrom on the other side. The deck that is basically it's the most popular deck in this tournament. It
Yeah,
seems to be one of the most dominating forces
yeah,
here.
exactly. 201 people who brought this deck with a good reason. Pikarom is massive. It's just a deck that, with the speed energy that was just introduced, gets so much, and now you can even use it like right now. I think it's the first time we see it with the tag call engine with the
Yeah,
Guzman Hala,
exactly.
which is another very good way to play it because right now, as I said, thanks to that speed energy, you're able to accelerate even with Guzman Hala, which was something that before you couldn't do.
Yeah, and this deck, we've seen so many different variations of this deck already. We've seen stuff that was based on Jirachi and stuff like Research Money. We've seen the aggressive build from Norwegian players with very few supporters and a very high energy count that was very explosive as well. We've seen the straight Bolton version that focused on Zero Aura and Bolton V. And now we're seeing the tech core version as well. So this deck seems to be doing great in all kinds of shapes. It's really a testimony to how strong it really is.
Indeed, and this first turn is as well, like second turn actually, is another testimony to how
And
good this
oh
deck is.
no!
Oh no.
Oh man.
With one
Absolutely
energy, he could do
nothing.
some things, but he doesn't even have that. That's so heartbreaking.
Not a single energy. That is so sad.
He does have a boss order, but it literally doesn't do anything. I think his best choice is just to try to catch her up Jirachi and hope he doesn't find the way to
And yeah,
retreat.
if your best option to
Oh
stall is to bring up Jirachi, that you know that it's looking terrible. Yeah, and
my god, he does have that Edgegust V, but man, oh god, that's so bad. We're so sorry here for Book as well. Trevor is just showing off how much the pick arm deck is able to put pressure. Right now, if the opponent, as he just did, so Kyle just skip the turn basically, the pick arm deck is just gonna run you over. He's gonna take probably another 2 prizes. He will probably not be able to take down the game yet, but so much advantage right now. Oh man. So
yeah,
let's see what he can do
and it's
here.
really hard. Yeah, just a single energy already enough to power up the Tag Bolt on the second Pikachu and Zekrom. Now, if something like a Zera Hour or Switch comes down, yeah, that's gonna mean that he can go for Tag Bolt and take the knockout on Victini here. However, at least it's just a knockout on the Victini.
It's stuck. No, there is 170 on the bench, but
Yeah,
that doesn't knock it out. Just 10 HP probably will stick there. I'm checking Trevor list right now. He doesn't play any ping effects.
and finally a quick ball from Puka. So maybe
Then
there's still a chance.
he's just done with his end, which is fair. Like, so sad for him, really. I think he
Yeah,
still has a chance to flip this game.
yeah. If he's able to draw, I mean, has a lot of draw available currently, and his opponent still needs 2 attacks to win the game.
Yeah.
He needs to take out a Baby Blacephalon and the Elder Ghost. So he still needs to attack twice. And Puka, he might be able to close out this game in 2 turns as well. So if he gets the knockout this turn and then he gets a follow-up knockout on the second Pikachu and Zekrom, that might bring him the game quite quickly. He also plays Beastbringer, so if he's able to
Maybe another
find...
option, yeah.
Yeah, if he's able to get the knockout on the Pika, then maybe he can follow it up with a knockout on the Didenne, and that might be just enough to win the game. So yeah, he
This
take
Pikarom with the big charm, it's the one in the bench. Luckily, this one doesn't have the big charm.
yeah,
So he might be able to even knock it out this turn. It is quite hard. I don't think he can pull it off right away. Unless he finds what? No, I don't think he can pull it off this turn. However, if he's able to like even set up for next turn, then maybe he can do it if he can survive one more knockout. There it is. That's a quick ball. He can set up the even if maybe if he finds Fire Flint, then things
yeah,
could change.
yeah. He definitely
See.
needs Fiery Flint to stay in this game. Now, yeah, he probably has to thin out his deck
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bit
Good
more.
sequencing here. Cards a quick ball. What would you discard here? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. Skateboard is the best option probably. Takes another Jirachi actually.
Interesting. Yeah, I think he needs to go for Blacephalon here.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's just
Otherwise, yeah.
hindering.
Yeah, otherwise he won't be able to build up enough cards.
It reads onto the Jirachi. He does have 2 switches available in his hand. He also has another quick ball, so in case he whiffs with
And
this one,
yeah.
but there is a Fire Flint.
That's a Fire Flint, so we're getting there.
Alright,
It's
slowly,
not over
steadily.
yet.
This is doable now.
Yeah,
Just
so
needs to find some more energy or some energy recursion.
yeah, he has to discard a lot of cards for, so probably has to get rid of like Switch and Great Ball, and then he needs to Welder and find 2 more
Probably
energy
the energy,
somehow.
yeah. I do like the energy discard here.
Yeah, but it seems reasonable as well. Then,
So
however,
if he finds one of his energy recursion, he has an out.
yeah,
Also has that beast energy in deck, which
exactly.
right now it's not relevant, but for the other pick room could be.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
So-
the welder. 2 energies. Oh. Oh man. Yeah, I think he's a bunch of cards short.
He has, yeah, he's one, yeah, he's 2 energies short, but he can still go for another. No, he can't go for another Stellar Vision.
Fortunately,
Yeah,
no. Oh man, Puka just giving us a taste of hope right now, but he was maybe with a heat factory. Yeah, he would need to hit the heat factory and get a switch or and some energy
yeah, he
recursion.
would need, he would need to hit Feed Factory now, and then,
Is there that?
yeah,
No,
no,
it's
it's not.
not. Yikes.
I mean, it's still not 100% over if his opponent with the gusting effect,
Yeah, exactly.
but it's
You see that
looking,
Trevor is playing only one
yeah.
copy of the boss orders. Doesn't play. He already used the Great Catcher, I believe.
Uh,
So
yeah, he might have discarded it. I'm not really sure. He definitely didn't gust anything up, but he might have
mhm.
discarded it.
Very
And yeah,
fiery hand here from Puka.
yeah. What more
Let's see
can
what
we
happens
say?
here. This turn is
Yeah,
will
okay.
decide how the game goes.
Great Catcher is gone.
hmm
So it's still possible, and yeah, it's showing the strength of BB Blacephalon, just having those one prizers. And yeah, there we see the gusting effect on the Blacephalon.
It's good. It's good actually that it was the Cephalon was
Yeah,
gusted
I
up rather than
think
the
I
Great
don't
Choreo.
I'm not sure about this play because I don't think Puka plays any hand disruption.
Yeah.
So that means if
I
he
don't think. Yeah, exactly. As you
so
say,
yeah,
he
if
should have
he
gone
does
for the two prizer.
exactly if he just had kept that or if he just had holded that boss order, he would have guaranteed himself the win in the next turn. Because
Exactly.
yeah,
Trevor here getting a bit impatient, I would
I
say.
mean yeah, I mean of course he's still in such a commanding position right now that it hardly matters at all. Because
Oh yeah, no.
it's very unlikely. I mean, it's Fuka doesn't even have anything on his board, but
Trouble Cephalon.
yeah, but if he's able to find a welder and still not a great hand, but at least he can thin out his. He can. Yeah, he can't
Have
thin
a
out his deck, I
switch.
think, because he's already. He already has all his Pokemon in play, so the Ultra Space doesn't do much, but he can still use Stellar Wish to maybe find a welder here and at least a Heat Factory.
So good play here by Puka, not using that Ultra Space that he found. Because you remember you can only play one supporter per turn. That's the hit factory. Let's see if there's a welder of this. Oh no, but there's another switch at
There's
least.
now a switch, so man,
Oh
this
god.
is
Even so, like this is just resources that they're basically being invested but sort of wasted in this situation. There's a welder finally.
yeah, finally the
Probably we'll
welder.
see a knockout fight. Oh my god, this is so threatening as well because if the Dedenne is put into the active spot, that's gonna mean even a one more turn. Oh god.
Yeah, there's the knockout at least, but yeah, it's and using the oh yeah. No, actually using the beast energy, interesting choice
Yeah, no,
here.
it's fine because you needed 5 energies anyway.
Yeah, but
So
like he
I think
has
he had
yeah.
only. Oh, he had 7. Okay, no. Then no, he probably shouldn't have attached it.
Yeah, he could have saved that to need one less energy on his next turn for the knockout. But I think he's out of switching cards.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
so not great.
You cannot rely on Jirachi next turn. Yikes. What is his out right now?
I mean, he still has his Oricorio, so if Trevor doesn't have another boss order. Oh, actually, wait. No.
Marvel Circle for
Wait, what's.
230.
But that's weird.
Oh man.
He did have a fire crystal, right? So he could have just
Yeah,
gotten
he did. I think
more
he just
energies.
miscounted, and that's probably the reason why he attached that beast energy.
Yeah, I was saying, like, he could have just gotten the knockout here and the next turn with the beast energy. Hope
Yeah, I
that
think it
he
was a
got that.
honest mistake.
Yeah,
Oh
that's,
man,
yeah,
that's heartbreaking.
unfortunate ending, but of course, Trevor would have been in the driver's seat anyway if he had gotten. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
there we see the oops.
yeah. If it would have been Puka would have needed a miracle to pull this off. But once again, guys, they just had 11 rounds. People just understand that these these persons had a long day of Pokemon. Isn't even an Electro Power. Another Electro Power. Probably just deciding to attack with the Dene if he wants to.
Yeah, actually, I think Trevor
Trevor
is playing Eldegoss, so he could have just Eldegoss for boss order anyways.
Yep.
So it wouldn't have
Just
mattered.
boss orders.
Yeah, I
And
was
that's
about
gonna
to
be the
say.
game.
So yeah, but it didn't matter. Very unfortunate draws from Puka, but of course, and Trevor just capitalizing off that, putting on a lot of pressure, making it really hard for Puka. Again, I think he could have just holded that boss order the turn before and guaranteed himself a win anyways. Because, Puka doesn't have any hand disruption, so he could have just taken a knockout and then gusted up the Eldegoss from Puka for the game. And of course, this is with open decklist, so he should know that his opponent is not playing hand disruption. But of course, it's also possible that we are missing something. Since we are also pretty tired.
Remember, we're also humans, and we make some mistakes even as casters, since we have the caster vision, just looking for things from another perspective. But at the same time, like sometimes misplays, we would do misplays that the players wouldn't, and sometimes the players would do a mistake that we wouldn't.
For sure.
It's always a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
And but overall, like Puka is 7-4. He can still make day 2. He needs just 2 wins.
Yeah,
and
I
then
hope.
he will be able to access it.
Yeah, and Trevor, of course, being now up to 8-3 in a pretty decent, in a pretty good position to make day 2. He only needs 1 more win out of the last 2 rounds. So we will probably see him in day 2, as long as he manages to win one of those rounds. Puka, of course, still in it as well, how you mentioned. And yeah, I'm pretty glad that this turned out to be a rather interesting game in the end, where Trevor had to make some plays and to see what options he has. And Puka still managed to attempt a comeback, get going as well. And it turned out to be an interesting game. Both players kind of close to winning. Puka, of course, with that one crucial turn where he would have been, like the turn he drew out of, where he drew the quick ball for the Dene. If he had gotten the knockout there, he would have been in the leading position actually.
Exactly. But even if it was 1 turn earlier, that would make him such a better spot. It's always a matter like this. Today decks have sort of starting engine. Once you start, you're good to go. But for example, if you don't start, if you don't set up, such as, I don't know, I'm thinking about stall, or if you don't have the Chinchino, if you don't have the Zacian, it's going to be really hard for you to set up. I'm thinking also about Pick Rom. You need to find that Tapu Koko or the Thunder Mountain. If you don't find them, you're just going to be left behind. And once you're left behind, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be an uphill fight for you.
For sure. Yeah. Anyways, so we kind of had an interesting game here. Unfortunate draws in the early game, but it came down to an interesting late game where players had to use their resources correctly to get themselves into a position to win. However, Puka, of course, stumbling too much, falling behind. And Trevor ultimately being able to take a relatively comfortable win here and moving on to 9-3. So I hope you enjoyed this round anyways. It was kind of torturing to watch because the tension was pretty high at some spots. If it would actually not just end in 5 minutes, and anyways,
it was back and forth.
That's it for this round. We will go to a quick break and we will be back with the round number 12 very soon.